There's a red light.
There's the red light. Okay, welcome to today's episode of Lama Drives, where Von drives and we ended up with the wrong coffee. We've now switched coffees, and I've got the extra strong. I couldn't work out why Von said her coffee tasted bad, and mine was a bit weak. Switch the coffees and away.
Mine was normal, yours was extra strong.
Well, it's got the wrong labels on the top. It's not what was sold. See? It's always the thing. So if you're new to the channel, Lama Drives are our regular catch-up chit-chats where we are going somewhere and we kill the time by just shooting the breeze, covering a few topics of the week or the past month or so, bit of behind the scenes, just general bike banter. We both ride, we both like the outdoors, and we're both stuck in the car for an hour or two. So this is how we kill some time. So Von, people have been asking how you are.
I'm doing well.
How are you doing? You good?
Yeah.
You've been out on the bike too, a lot.
I've been outside riding now, which is exciting. I think last time we caught up I hadn't been outside yet. And it's been sunny here, so it's been amazing.
Except today.
Yeah.
Let's forget about today.
I've even managed to do social rides with other people. Yes.
Not avatars?
No.
Were they real?
Well, that's the hard part, is trying to coordinate someone else to go riding with as well when you've got, baby schedule.
Baby hours?
Yeah.
Different between pro hours or?
It is actually, because you have to time it between your feeds.
Okay, so they're harder to schedule than pro hours.
Yeah.
Pro hours, if you're not aware, the majority of people who work 9 to 5 or work an office job, you have to ride at 6 a.m, 5 a.m. and get things done, or late at night, or on the weekends. They're normal hours for cycling. Pro hours are anything between, I think, 9 and 5 during the day. Typically, that's when pros can ride. They ride full time.
So I'm on...
mum hours.
I don't know, what would you call it? Feed hours,
Feed hours.
feed pro.
Post-pregnancy hours.
Yeah, but the biggest turn point has been in the last week that Max has started to sleep like big chunks of time.
Max is also the third member now of the Lama Drives. It's myself, Mrs. Lama, and baby Lama.
Yeah, I'm Von.
Is he? Oh, he's gone to sleep already. Parenting win. So Max is doing very well.
Yeah, so that really helps with my level of sleep and sanity levels too. So that's been another exciting thing. So yeah, out there on the bike, it's springtime here. And yeah, looking for the next challenge and bits and pieces to get moving. So loving it. Yeah.
So springtime here is a combination of really hot, really cold, or really wet. Take your pick, and if you don't like one of them, what is it? You wait 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
And it will change to one or the other. So today it's called payback weather. That's what I call it. We have a couple of really hot days and then a couple of really cold days. Today's sort of in between, but it's wet. My ride this morning was indoors.
Yeah.
We've got the bike in the back, not on the roof because it's pretty crappy outdoors. And my bike is nice and clean at the moment with its new tyres. So we'll be going up and getting a few rides in on the old home roads. So today's episode, what we're going to cover, episode? Do we do episodes? We do shows? Whatever. Podcasts? Sesh?
Is it a therapy sesh?
It's an indoor sesh, whatever it is. Okay, so speaking of, we'll look at indoor season. We're looking at have a chat about the indoor season, which is now in the Northern Hemisphere, kicking off really strongly.
Yeah.
We're nearing 100,000 subscribers here on my YouTube channel, which has been a bit of a journey. It's been a year since they banned my channel accidentally, then put it back and then, oh God, I don't know what happened there. But anyway, we're back. We've been back for 12 months with not a single hiccup because nothing's wrong with this channel.
There's no issues.
Though let's celebrate Peloton, the Peloton anniversary in a different way. The DZero open house is coming up soon, in a couple of weeks. The podcast that I'm on, a bit of history behind the ZwiftCast and how long we've been doing that for. The Hammerhead Karoo. We'll get Von's take on the Karoo. That was very interesting. My new tyres, the Magene Ridge dual power meters, been in the Lama lab this week. Looking at getting the Quarq DZero and the Rotor INSpider, 2 more power meters to have a look at. The Zwift, which is the trainer I was on this morning, taking up the mountain pass. Christmas giveaways, the Varia Radar. I've got to talk about the Varia Radar every single time I produce any content. The Varia Radar, it's just, I'll ping Von about that. Anyway, and indoor tips and Zwift tips. So there's our list today of just general chit-chats and whatever else pops up along the way or flies in our general direction. Hopefully it's nothing dangerous when traveling at 100 k's an hour. It's 100?
Yeah.
We're good. Kicking off today's topics, indoor trainer season. Now, I know indoor trainer season is kicking off because the views on the channel and the comments on the older videos start going up. My library of content now is around 1,000 videos. And a lot of it is evergreen resource content. If you're watching this, you know what it's about. It's evergreen resource content. And a lot of those older videos that I've put up are, I was going to say aging well. They're timeless. The Zwift on a budget video that I did where I shouted at the camera from our garage in Melbourne.
Wow, yeah, that was quite some time ago.
Is still doing really well. So I'm glad that content is still helping people out. There has been a number of updates since then. I've even done other videos on top of that, such as Zwift iOS on a budget with Bluetooth and all that. It doesn't do as well. Some videos just hit that algorithm and just tick along. So really happy with that. Also the trainer reviews. Well, the trainer reviews that have been out for a long time. The Kicker Core video is doing really well. A lot of people searching about that. The DZero, the Hammer series.
They're popular
videos.
trainers.
They are. So it's really good to know that the content I've made back then is still being viewed today. So if you viewed any of those videos, thank you. Still give them a thumbs up or a like or a comment. I still see all the comments coming through. I really appreciate those. But what I'm happy with is that content is continually being used and utilised. It's not the Digital Peloton news article, and even these videos themselves, they're a flashbang. They're like new for the day and then drop off and nobody views them again.
Yeah.
So it's really handy to have a library of content there, which is what the goal was all along, is to have resourceful content, useful content that people can learn from for years. Even I go back to them every now and then. I forget a lot of stuff with the trainers and things, so awesome stuff. If you're in the Northern Hemisphere, let us know what trainer you're on, let us know what trainer you're looking at. If you need any more details about any of the videos that I have made in the past, happy to revisit trainers, do updates. All good. Von, your pick of the trainers for 2019. You've seen a lot of them come in and go back out and then come back in again?
Is there any more coming in before the end of the year?
Well,
Do I need to hold my tongue till we get through any new ones?
You need to hold your tongue. No, unleash. You've heard what I've said about most of them when I first write.
Well, let me put it this way. What I would like
Yes.
is less trainers in the house.
Oh God, yeah. It's funny in the Cycling Dads Oz group. Yes, the Australian Cycling Dads group. Somebody said in there, I'm looking for a career change and getting into my hobby, and all the cliches came out with, if you work your hobby, you never work a day in your life.
Yeah,
that's nice. And until you've done it for a few years, and what I'm getting at is that when the knock comes on the door and there's another trainer, I'm like, oh God, another trainer. There's not that much excitement with trainers. I'm still into it. There's still my training session, but it has been work.
Maybe
this season has been work.
If you live your hobby, it takes over your life.
Look, but to be honest, I do appreciate what we get to do, what we get to ride, and what we get to share, and that's what it's all about, trying to share that. Because if I was to do that, you're going to close doors and just not share that out, what's the point?
Yeah.
Or if I was to do that for a bike magazine that says, okay, you've got to say this about this trainer, and we see that in regular media where they say things about the trainers that are just cut and paste and done.
Yeah.
Every trainer has a personality. I've got my own personality, my own gripes and requirements and stuff, so I like giving my angle on that. So.
Yeah, well, so I guess I haven't yet ridden the new tax bike, so I'm waiting
You've
to get
thrown
a
a leg over
that.
at some trade shows, but you haven't ridden it in anger.
Not in our space, so I can't wait till you're finished with your reviews and I get to have a trial of that in my own space as well.
Yep.
I want to reserve judgment on that because I have ridden the kicker bike and I really enjoyed that.
Ooh. Did you like the Di2 style shifters? Did you want Di2 on your bike?
Yes. I now want to convert my bike to Di2. That could be a good interim option until I can get back to work and earn enough coin to get the bike of my dreams.
Rumour is Shimano will be bringing out 12 speed. 20. Actually, let me get that right. Yes. Sorry, I've got the Watt bike update, which went from 22 to 11. Anyhow, so Shimano bringing out a 12-speed road bike next year. That's the rumour. Who knows if they're going to do it. Hopefully they redesign the cranks while they're at it for other reasons. If that's the case, 11-speed Di2 should come down in price. We should see at least 25% off, we hope. But that's only when they know they're bringing stuff out. If they discount it now,
Are you saying that we're not going to move the house to 12-speed for some time?
Hell no. How long does it take to go to 11? way too long.
Till I went to 11.
Well, you went to 11. It became awkward. We had to keep carrying the bikes in the back with extra wheels because you went to 11, and then we kept swapping trainers over. Then we had to convert the Lama to the 11, and it became a nightmare. So I think we're still a few years off going to 12.
Okay. Well, let's
across
see.
the board at home.
Let's see. Yeah. Well,
Okay.
let's do a little bit of a clean out then. We'll get rid of some old bikes. We've got your old Specialized.
Yeah, I'm going to sell the Shiv. I'm going to sell the Shiv
and
TT
your
bike.
Shiv TT bike, and that will make room for a few more trainers.
More trainers. But to answer your question though, to get back to it, there is the Zumo. The Zumo has reappeared.
Okay.
Now the Elite Zumo was it's the stepchild, it's the baby child of the Diretto, the Drivo, the Diretto, the Suto. It's even lower than the Suto on the scale of elite trainers. But the Zumo has reappeared with a new firmware. I have had a look at it earlier on. We'll see how that goes. So
okay.
we're not finished with trainers in 2019 yet. But if you're looking to buy, look, you can't go wrong with what's out there at the moment. Everything looks pretty stable. I'd have to steer clear. Well, check out Ray's trainer review. Obviously, the 2019-2020 trainer recommendations guide. Yep, that's what it's called. I'm just trying to make, it's not really a here, go and buy this. It's a Ray's experience, same as what I do. Here's my experience with this. Would you recommend it? And Ray says, would I recommend it to my dad?
Okay.
So it's a car, get that way.
So
that way, car.
Yeah.
That way.
So they go check out Ray's thing.
Yeah,
and
there's a few
reviews.
There's a few disclaimers in there as well, such as the Kinetic R1, where we can't recommend that, not in the state that it's in, and not without maybe a few firmware updates down the track, or the proviso that you use an external power meter, which is not kind of what you spend $1,000 plus on a trainer for, to use something else to make it work. So there's a few ups and downs there. But look, between the Hammer H3, the Kicker 18 with its problems resolved, the Neo 2T with the new firmware, it's still a bit bitey. You really can't go too wrong.
Yeah.
So
I've been riding the Tax Neos since I've been back on the bike in the last few months.
You're a Neo fan, aren't you?
Yeah.
I've got to say, the Neo bike is dead quiet. It is crazy quiet. The Kicker bike has some resonance, some hum to it. I'm okay with that. It's not loud. It's not obnoxious at all. Not as loud as the Watt Bike Atom, which is this big drum device. Remember we had that in the bottom room and you could hear.
Let's never talk about that one again.
Hey, you said it. Me too. It's interesting. The Neo bike, just silence.
Excellent. I can't wait.
You're putting pressure on me to review it. I'll get to it. But about the ride experience. I'm on. Okay. Indoor ride experience, these new trainers. There's nothing like kick-assingly great. I've made another word. Somebody messaged me today as I was riding Zwift saying, "G'day Shane, how you doing? Love your videos, thank you. I'm still riding a Gen 2 Kicker with 11,000 miles still on it. And the Gen 2 Kicker is still giving the same experience as the latest stuff. You won't get cadence from it, obviously. The new ones have the cadence as well. They have a Bluetooth, etc. But they've lasted. So a good trainer is an investment, I'd say. Yeah,
it's not like the iPhone where the battery life starts to decrease every time a new iOS comes out and drains the hell out of things.
Tap, iPhone 6 on its last legs. Yeah, that's a very good point. And if they can be serviced, most of the trainers can be serviced, but if you look after them, they'll last you many, many years.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
We don't know what the next tech is going to look like.
That's it.
For indoor training. So at this stage, it's a good investment.
Now, I do have a long list of things to get through here, but just down the rabbit hole of different tech in the trainers, the Kicker bike has different tech than the Kicker.
Ah, okay.
More Neo style, virtual flywheel, which really relies on the user weight being applied. I'll do another video. I've got some plans here, and I've sent off a few emails to get some technical information back from a few companies about how that actually works, because a virtual flywheel trainer requires you to enter your weight correctly in the unit to give it a good ride feel.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's untapped, and I've mentioned this in a few places on the internet this week, that trainer feel, ride feel, and user preference can come down to your rider weight and your expectations of how a trainer responds. For example, a Kicker 18, let's say a Kicker 18 with its 17-pound flywheel, quite a large flywheel, me accelerating in a sprint on that unit will be very different to a lightweight 50-kilo rider accelerating in a sprint in the same gear. It will feel very different. It's the same physical unit, and the acceleration will respond a lot differently. It mightn't, we produce different powers, but it feels different to them. Same with you and your power levels. It'll feel different to outside than inside. So the same trainer, different experiences. If you've got a triathlete on a trainer, their experience may be different to a track sprinter and how they expect it to. Like a track sprinter is obviously going to be heavier built. These virtual units with the kicker bike, the Neo series across the board, the Neo's had this since day zero. The Neo 1, the Neo 2, the 2T, and the Neo bike all provide a virtual resistance experience or a virtual inertia experience and virtual climbing experience based on your rider weight. It is critical that you put in the right rider weight for that to feel normal.
Okay.
So I've just been thinking this week, it's a hard one to quantify and how to record, but it's something to keep in mind though. When someone says, I like the Neo over the kicker, you need to know a lot more about that. It doesn't mean that everyone will like the Neo over the kicker or the kicker over the Neo. There could be differences in the reasons why. A lot of people say they step on the Neo after coming from the kicker and saying, I don't like the feel of it. Well, yeah, if it's set for a 50 kilo rider, of course they're not going to like the feel of it. If it's set for a 150 kilo rider, they're not going to like the feel of it.
Yeah.
I think so. Anyway, that's my rabbit hole for the week. I'll dive down that. But these are getting complex, and it's the same with the kicker bike. Now needs your rider weight correctly set for the gearing to feel real.
Well, the other difference that I noticed in the kicker bike in terms of new technology is the climb component of it is at a different pivot point. So instead of the front going up and down, now it's pivoting from the kind of the center
so
bottom
you're not
bracket.
doing that. You're not doing this. You're doing this.
Yeah.
So it's more of a seesaw, and you're sitting in the middle rather than sitting at the end of a seesaw. I love analogies. This week has been my analogy week.
Well, this week has been my allergy week because we've had so much pollen and storms. It's been crazy.
Spring is in the air. And the analogy that I came up with on the ZwiftCast was about, we were discussing that Zwift had taken the Zwift platform and e-racing to the 6-day event in the UK. And the response to Zwift being at the 6-day track event was, to put it nicely, brutal on Twitter. Brutal. And the reason being is that track racing is one of the oldest forms of cycling, competitive cycling, competition cycling. You go there with your beers and it's a celebration of, it's like any sporting field. It takes cycling from outside and these roads where no one sees you into this condensed little field.
Yeah.
It's entertaining, it's everything. Esports can be that. It's in an arena, it can be entertaining, you can stand there with beers. But when you kind of take something that's over 100 years old and mash it with something that hasn't quite been accepted by everyone yet, my analogy was, it's like driving a Tesla to a steam rally and trying to convince everyone to go electric cars. You're not going to make too many friends unless you do it very, very wisely and at an angle that no one's used yet. It was brutal online. Yeah, the chats to me lit up with people saying, have you seen that? And yeah, I saw it. I saw the response. I don't think Zwift can put their head in the sand about how that was received. Wrong. All wrong. You need to take Zwift to its own arena. Make it its own thing. Make this esports stuff its own event. Stand it alone. Putting it with the oldest traditional form of the sport with the most hardcore fans who are on the beers and who have a Twitter. Anyhow, the least we say about that, the better. Fail fast, fail often. That was a fail. Anyway, 100,000 subscribers. We are slowly getting there. Slowly.
You are chipping away. What are you at, 95 at the moment?
No,
94, 93?
94. Again, it being indoor season helps. A lot of people are looking at the content and subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, you probably haven't got to this part of the video. Do hit subscribe. It does support the channel.
Yeah, and look, one other thing I want to just make a comment on the subscription point. Like, so your videos will pop up in people's feeds even if they're not subscribers.
Correct.
So the key there is YouTube is making the decision for you as to what could be interesting content that you have seen in the past.
Are you referring to the algorithm?
Yes. So if you don't subscribe, they won't show you Shane's latest videos necessarily.
Yeah.
So that is one thing that I don't want them to have control over with my stuff. So say for DZero Maker, I subscribe to his stuff so I can see when it comes through as well. Whereas I don't see.
You subscribe to me. You better. Oh, shit, I gotta check. Now I feel bad.
So otherwise, I would have missed Ray's latest content in bits and pieces as well. So like, I don't watch any of his watch stuff, so they wouldn't necessarily share that with me in my feed. But I'll see it come through. I may not watch it, but I'll see it
The
come
tabs
through.
you have is subscriptions, which I always go to subscriptions because it's the people who I've said, subscribe, yes, I want to see their content when it pops up, subscriptions. Or you've got your general landing page, which may not be your subscriptions.
Yeah,
so,
that's right. So, and if you're looking at stuff primarily on mobile, it'll be, one or either of that as well. So that is my just comment about
being
subscribing, and you've got the option of having notifications or not.
I'm conscious of that.
In my opinion, I think subscribing is an important concept with YouTube.
It does help. So at the moment we are on 94,194 subscribers. But I think it's more about the views. So people viewing the content, I think only 70% or 30% of people are subscribers. 70% are non-subscribers. That's okay, because as I mentioned before, it's more about having resources there that anybody can see, drive by, find your information and move on. It's just really handy when people hit that subscribe button because it helps.
30% though,
Only
really?
30%, yeah.
30%?
That's quite low.
That's crazy.
But you've got the nature of, people aren't going to be into everything. Somebody said the other day on someone else's video, I don't subscribe to Shane, he just talks about indoor stuff. I read that just after I come home from a 3-hour ride outdoors. I'm like, oh, fuck, really? Bro, subscribe. Anyway, all good. It's not for everyone. And even this video here.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Not everyone will watch a drive video, but they might be interested in, say, the trainers, or they might be interested in, say, the tyre stuff that you put out the other day.
Garmin firmware. That video did really well.
I love knowing what's going to happen.
The change logs are freaking huge. I nerd out on the change logs. I love a good change log.
Yeah.
Anyhow. So 94,194 looking for the 100,000 mark because that legitimizes the channel. Now what 100,000 subscribers does is effectively gets you the doors open at YouTube. They finally recognize you as a channel. Even though I've gotten 25 million views, you know the channel, it's been around for years. And it's like the revenue is a lot better than what it was in the past. And YouTube make even more out of that. They don't care until you got 100,000 subscribers. Then you get a little plaque on the wall, and then you get access to a channel manager, or a content channel manager, which means there is someone to talk to when they do delete your account. I'm still not there. I am still not there. You've got to then apply for that. They've changed the rules about that though as well. It's now invite only that you have a channel manager, so it's a bit weird. But it'd be really nice if they could just legitimize it a little bit more. And like the GPLama business is primarily delivered on YouTube. They take that away, I'm done. As they did it. Anyway, so 100,000, we're getting there. Round 2 are down under time, I think. It's probably about the time we'll get there.
All right, so what do we want to do? 100,000, let's do some giveaways in preparation, or once you get there, or how does it work?
All of the above. I've had, as I've said in other videos before, companies have approached me saying we'll do some giveaways at the 100,000, but that's like celebrating. I mean, I do appreciate that, and we'll go ahead with that as much as we can. But it's sort of like, you know, when you do a time trial. Sorry, going back to my racing days. You do a time trial. Are you giving
me another analogy?
No, an example of what this feels like. You do a time trial, and you've done this because Von is a National Masters 1 Women's Australian Champion for 2014. So Von knows what it's like to do all the hard work, and then you go and do the time trial, and then you win, and everybody pats you on the back, and you're like, where were you guys when I was spewing up on the back roads? Like, training is this, and racing is this. And I mean, it's the same across the board. They celebrate the win because it's what's been seen. But do you know what I mean? Like, to celebrate 100K, guys, where the hell are you now? Like, come on, help me get there. You know, it's...
Yeah, well, that's where you can say at the 100,000, that's when the giveaway will occur.
It's a thanks, yeah. But if people only come along on board for the results, you get this. It's sort of like
that means the giveaways need to be for both existing and new subscribers, not just newbies.
Yeah. But we do have some Christmas giveaways. We've got Christmas bottles.
Oh, and some Shane and Von bottles.
Oh, we're not going to give those.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we are. Yes.
Look, I don't mind ringing my own bell every now and then. I draw the line of giving away a drink bottle with my picture on it.
Well, they could pay for it then. How much would you pay for a drink bottle with my face on it?
I'd pay more if your ass was on it.
Well, if you just pucker the plastic a bit.
What if I open the lid and look at the back side? There's a market for elite printing on the inside of bottles. Oh god, this is going south. We wanted 100,000 subscribers, not 10. Everyone's going to disappear. Okay, let's continue through the list. We're 25 minutes in plus already. Let's keep going here. So if you're still hanging around, we do appreciate it. We do have a lot of fun with what we do. Sometimes it's in front of a green screen, sometimes it's news, sometimes we are just having some fun. That was a bit of fun. Okay.
I didn't wake up Max, did I?
Yep. Oh, he's a bit grumpy. He's okay. He's okay. So DCR open house, November 30th. We're almost all sold out of tickets. I'm heading back over to Amsterdam. I love a long haul flight, as long as someone's not kicking me in the back of the seat. Max isn't old enough to kick the back of the seat yet. So I'll be over there heading into their winter. We were almost sold out of tickets the other day. Even though the tickets are free, there's an allocation of people who can come because there's only so many people we can cram into that gondola.
That's right.
So I'll be back over there. Links below to that. Plus also we've mentioned it on the podcast. So speaking of, the GPLama and DCR Fitfile podcast ticks along. We try and aim for one show a week. We cover everything we've covered on the other channels that we have, or the other YouTube or Ray's posts, and a bit more in depth, and a few stories behind the scenes of rather than just rehashing what we've done. Some of the times we get a bit more info. Ray taking the kicker bike from the Amsterdam airport to the DCR cave on a cargo bike, and the crosswind, just insane how we got that done. And my issues with getting the Neo bike delivered, because they dropped it off at the depot that I had to go and get and put a vest on to get and then carry myself. And but you get a bit more behind the scenes in the Fitfile podcast as well. Links below to that. We appreciate people subscribing to that one. The ZwiftCast. Fine, if I was to tell you the ZwiftCast, which I do with Simon Schofield and Nathan Guerra, talking all things Zwift, how long do you think we've been doing that for? I was quite surprised.
It's got to be, well, we've been in Ballarat for 2 years, and you were doing it before that.
What?
When we were in Vegas.
I've lost count.
We
did one in a Vegas hotel room.
I was on one. So it's got to be more than 2 years. So how long?
Just over 3 years.
Woo!
We've been doing the ZwiftCast, which is the community-based podcast with 3 Zwifters and a few guests every episode. 3 years, over 3 years now. And we're still having so much fun doing it because Zwift will throw us a curveball every now and then with, and there's always controversy. So this week was Dirtgate. We had the UK Nationals gate the other week. That's done. Everyone's forgotten about that.
Dirtgate. So is that how fast the bike goes on dirt?
Bingo. They've slowed down all the road bikes on dirt. They've sped up the mountain bikes on dirt. Oh my God, controversy. It's pretty funny.
Slowed it down or just sped up?
I think they slowed the road bikes down.
Oh, you should have kept them the same, I reckon.
But they were artificially fast. The road bikes were artificially fast on dirt, so the mountain bikes would have been even more artificially fast.
Okay.
Fast squared, which is not good. So we had so much fun talking about that, and we gave it hard to triathletes, we gave it hard to mountain bikers. I think Rhodey's got a spray as well. But it's all.
Geez, that sounds like fun.
No. We're just having fun with it all. So Simon's a roadie, I'm a roadie / time trialist. I've dabbled in triathlon, the bike part, and I appreciate triathlon. Yeah. And Nathan's a hardcore mountain biker, so we're giving it hard to the mountain bikers. But it's have a listen to the latest episode. We had a heap of fun recording it. Still as much fun as day one.
That's good.
But 3 years. All good. Anyway, I'm glad that's sustained like that, because a lot of the time interest will wane in things. We've done it all, but there's still enough new stuff coming out that we can talk about.
All right, we'll include a link below for that as well. And that way,
that's good coffee.
If you haven't heard it before, you can tune on in.
All good. This week, the Hammerhead Karoo. A lot of people have asked me about the Hammerhead. So the Hammerhead Karoo was a Kickstarter head unit. I don't have it with me here to show.
And you do that for a good reason.
Good lead in. As I said, we had a lot of fun doing this. So the Hammerhead Karoo, Android-based, Kickstarter bike computer. I'm not sure what its value prop is. It's the screen and the touch screen are brilliant. Everyone said that. Battery life is meant to be good. I'll discuss that in a later date. I unboxed it this week. I'll cover it in a few weeks. You okay, bub?
Yep.
He's all good. I unboxed it, and the first thing I said, I should have recorded this. I took it over to Von and I said, give me your first impressions of the Karoo. And your first impressions, Von?
It was very big and very heavy.
This thing is a monster truck.
And that was before we turned it on.
This thing is 180 grams, 190 grams, which is, let's be honest, it's about twice the weight of any other bike computer.
I think I saw the first one at Tour Down Under last year, and I said, I saw the weirdest, biggest head unit I've ever seen in my life.
It looks like a massive Rome. It looks like a big Rome, even with the bezels as well, but even bigger bezels than the Rome.
But you did a comparison with other head units.
I did.
Where does it sit?
Well, obviously a lot lower because it's so heavy. It's getting pulled to the centre of the earth, so it sits about here when putting it on the hard. What do you mean? As in size-wise?
Yeah, size-wise.
Bigger. It's the biggest thing.
It's bigger than the 1030.
Height-wise, it maybe width. This thing just eats everything for breakfast and lunch and dinner.
Okay, that's why it's so heavy.
It's eating everything, but it's not a bad thing. The screen is brilliant. Now, on my list here, the reason to talk about this because you can sideload Android apps on it.
Okay.
Somebody from the community has figured out how to sideload apps, and it's not an official way of doing things, but you can do it on there. So I loaded up Zwift Companion app on it.
Okay, so that would be helpful indoors.
I've loaded Trainer Road on it. I haven't tried to control the trainer with it, but you can load Trainer Road on this head unit. I loaded Chrome, and then loaded my YouTube channel on it, and watched a video. The screen is killer crisp, but the unit has no speaker or beeper. So
why?
You don't hear anything. It does have a Bluetooth compatibility with headsets and headphones and all that sort of stuff. I haven't tried to pair a headphone to it and listen to. It kind of defeats the purpose of having a head unit outdoors and wearing headphones, so you can't hear the outdoors. But it's also a little bit of a bother with the Varia Radar. Brilliant little graphics on the side. The graphics are fantastic for the radar. Little cars, and you just can't hear it. It doesn't make a sound. So it's a bit of a letdown there. But the other Android apps on it, and it runs Doom.
That you did show me that, and I could. Was that a dream? I don't know.
No, about 1:15 last night. I was going to bed, but I was still tinkering around. I'm like, Von, it runs Doom. Check it out, it runs Doom. Von's like, I don't. You have.
I don't believe.
I had to wake you up and tell you it ran Doom. It runs Doom. I'll put that in the review video. That's pretty cool. So I think, and that's the second head unit I've looked at in the last few weeks that runs Android. I like the idea and the concept of something running a true operating system.
Yeah.
And the extensibility that offers. Making it seamless though, and making it an easy user experience is going to be the trouble. Going to be the problem. Going to be the thing that needs to be solved. You right, buddy? He's all good. That being because if you need to switch between tasks or applications or multitask,
you don't want distractions on the bike.
My mum could probably figure out how to use an Element, Roam, Bolt. My mum could probably figure out that. Give my mum a mobile phone. You have to sit down with mum for a little bit and tell her how to switch between apps.
Or even how to load an app on it. Yeah.
There you go. It's not all so it's brilliant. It just needs to be brought into a bit like, can I use an analogy or a loop back to you can't bring a Tesla into a 6-day event. Was that what I used? The Steam Rally? You can't bring brand new tech into people who are used to this ecosystem that is simple. So navigation on standard head units is pretty
people
easy.
can learn, but the concept here is you're out, things are moving very quickly, you don't want distractions.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't distract you too much because it doesn't make any noise.
Yeah, there's supposed to be one function that you're being able to just quickly glance down, check your speed, whatever, or your navigation that you're doing. So it does navigation as well, which I did see. I had to play with it.
Yeah.
That did look okay.
I navigated the Devil's Kitchen loop here, which is 80 kilometres from home. Pretty easy loop though. It was out, turn, Devil's Kitchen. It's kind of called Devil's Kitchen. Not a problem at all. Crisp, clear, great screen, great everything. So Ray's thrown in a challenge of, I haven't told you about this. Get somebody else to make a route for you and then you go and ride it. Because every time we create a route, we know where we're going, which is kind of ironic that we're asking a device to route us and we're telling it where to route us to. Again, that's the difference between destination-based routing and path-based routing, which is another rabbit hole of discussion in itself. So are you up for the challenge? Can you devise a route for me this week of 40 kilometres around town, plus some hills, and then I'll go and ride it and then talk about the experience. I think a lot of the time we know when we're coming up to an intersection, we know where we're going. And my 80 kilometre loop, I knew where I was going. So we'll do that this week and report back on that. I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah, because a lot of times what you'll do is you'll download a route that someone has set to say go from Ballarat to Melbourne or something like that, and someone else has created it. Yep. And those nuances that you've just mentioned, you understand generally how the route will go, but those nuances will be the things that make or break the experience. So yeah, I'm happy to do that.
We might have to do it across different head units.
And tool sets.
Oh, so you're talking create a route with Strava, maybe one with Komoot.
Yeah. One
with, well, obviously right with GPS.
Directly on the head unit.
Directly. Oh, good luck with that.
Yeah, maybe I'll.
Yeah.
I'd do that.
Let's give that 5 years.
No. I would do that on the Hammerhead because that has been the best screen keyboard interaction that I have used to date.
It's killer, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's killer.
Although that being said, I haven't used your 830 or that with the super fast screen keyboard.
Is from the 820 to the 830, the Garmin Edge.
Yeah.
Is lightning difference. Lightning fast and lightning difference. I'm making up words again. A lot better. But the Karoo just hands down pulls the pants down on everyone else and just slaps them. If only they could mould the experience of all these units into one. So there we go. The feature sets of the Edge, which are just lightning's everywhere. There was a thunderstorm last night. Light years ahead, the Garmin Edges have all the features and functionality.
Yes.
The simplicity and the setup of the element units, and the screen of the Karoo.
Screen
and wait, I've got another one. I've got another touch screen. The price and battery life of the Brighton. There we go. And don't, for goddamn sake, do not put it on Kickstarter. Just make it and sell it. It'll sell.
Yep.
There we go. I'm sure there's patents there stopping people from doing that. But this is what it's all about, looking at what the best is. And it's now up to people to pick what the feature is that they want and what's the most important.
That's the trade-offs.
There is always trade-offs, unfortunately. So, the Hammerhead Karoo. More on that soon. We're going to keep running through here because these videos, anything at longer than 20 minutes, people downvote. Even I'm going to downvote.
Well, here's your challenge to edit it down to 20 minutes.
Oh God, no! Like play this at twice speed, even though I speak fast anyway. Tyres this week back onto tubes on my road tyres because the GP5000 started delaminating. Well, the first tubeless GP5000 committed suicide after about 400 k's. Didn't even get to wear that centre line off that tyre. So disappointed. But
I didn't even know what you meant by delaminating till you showed me. So it's where you've worn through the rubber and the
laminate, pretty much is laminated on top. It just does that.
You can see the fabric base or Kevlar base under that.
Yeah.
Like you've been doing skids. But
I haven't been doing mad skids. I did ride through Devil's Kitchen though. But that's what got me thinking, because the drop into Devil's Kitchen is probably 70 k's an hour. Then there's some tight hairpins. If that tyre had to let go and blew when I'm doing that, I was 40 k's from home, 20 k's from anywhere, down a ditch valley.
A very quiet road. Yeah.
I would have been laying there for a while trying to get reception or crawling up the ridge to, so that tyre came off. I was disappointed it was delaminating. I've never had a GP4000 delaminate ever.
No.
They just wear through and you just throw them out. This was, it had almost holes in it. You saw with the thumb.
It's weird.
Yeah. Their performance-based tyres is always going to be a trade-off between speed, performance, and durability. Durability has been reduced on those tyres, racing tyres. Just is what it is. Von, you're still running tubeless.
Yes.
Any reason why you're still running tubeless?
Because they haven't punctured and caused me issues to change.
You are due, though, for a sealant refresh.
Yeah, I am. But what I did notice, because obviously I didn't use my bike for a couple of months there between my last ride and when we put it on the trainer.
When this little one came along? Yep.
Yeah, because I needed to keep moving my legs around. And I had to pump my tyres up. And they hadn't, they hadn't de-beaded or anything like that.
No.
So with the sealant and everything in them, having pretty much very little pressure in there, it was as if I had tubes in there. So
what you're saying, they still kept pressure?
They were fine.
Yeah, but the sealant goes to shite. So the GP5000 TL tubeless that I ripped off the rear tyre on my bike, I'd run the same. I hadn't changed the seal. I hadn't changed that tyre for 9 months, and the sealant had just put itself all around the tyre. Yeah. Hardened. Sure. Yeah. And there was one big snot ball of sealant on there as well, which was just the most disgusting things you'll ever come across.
Does that mean it settled on one spot?
Yeah, I guess. And then they called Jonathan from Trainer Oak calls them something. I forget what they are. They're like snot balls or
pieces of kiwi.
Stanleys or Stan's snot balls. Or
that's not. But it's gross.
Yeah, it's disgusting. But I picked one out. And anyhow,
can't you just keep topping it up?
You can, but then you're just going to keep adding weight to your wheel. What was left in the tubeless tyre that I had was just this watery substance of shite that wouldn't have sealed anything had I gotten a puncture. I've been lucky. Which comes down to the quality of the sealant used, plus the maintenance. And, wow, look at all these people who are protesting.
I guess they're protesting trees. No, they want to keep trees. Okay. Well, I'm happy to keep the trees, but...
Okay, we just go around the tree like we did. It's raining out. They're not too far from Macca's, they're good. Service centre, 2Ks.
2Ks.
So, good coffee too. I don't dislike tubeless. No matter what people think of what my opinion of tubeless tyres is, and what my real opinion of tubeless... No. I want to give tubeless a chance, because when they work brand new, with new sealant, fine, yeah.
Well, I just want it to be like my tubes, where I don't have to do anything until I have a puncture.
That's not the case. And I think that's the problem there, because I'm done doing videos on trying to get tubeless tyres seated and set and reset. We'll redo your sealant, but it's going to be painful. We'll put some loud music on and take some tramadol, I guess. Oh no, it's going to be painful. Kidding. They're there, that's it. And the tubeless tyre video, taking off the tubeless in my experience, has done quite well. Somebody said, "Oh, nice video to do on to get to rev up people in the comments." It was kind of like clickbait without clickbaiting. I don't do a lot of clickbait. I think my only clickbait title for the whole year, I try and steer clear of that shit. I try and have better integrity than that. There's always going to be a time where I'll try and grab people's attention. That's what it's about. Was the Pinarello bike fire that caused a bushfire in...
Oh, you started off the year well.
And then I've just gone out. I haven't done clickbait since. But yes, the tyre video is doing quite well. I think everybody can relate. Everyone has a side to pick when it comes to tubeless versus tubes, or a tyre slashing. And I got both sides. So I was disappointed that the front tubeless slashed within 400 Ks. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, that's the kind of shit happens things though.
And then somebody says, "Oh, you're being very harsh on the tyre because it wasn't its fault." And I'm like, yeah, no, shit happens. Yeah. Exactly. And then someone said later on, "Come on, Mr. Miller, you've given this tyre 4.5 out of 5, but that front tyre only lasted 400. Come on, man." I'm like, I'm screwed either way here. I'm sitting in the middle and I'm like...
trying to rev you up.
Yeah, so I'm sitting in my response to that was, I'm fucked either way, really. Just like, it's my experience. And that's what I wanted to share, because nobody, I didn't say this too much in the video, but you do a search on GP5000 TL reviews, GP5000 reviews, and there are a shite ton squared of reviews of people getting them in the media and riding them and saying they're fantastic after 200 kilometers. Great, get to 400 kilometers and let me know how they went. And then get them to 1,000 kilometers, get them to 4,500 kilometers and share your experience. But that's not how the media works. And that's what pisses me off to no end, reading most of these first reviews. They don't come back into a follow-up. That's why I wanted to get out to the shed. Sorry, I'm a bit passionate about this, because these are the reviews that I want to find.
Yeah, I mean, most people, I think, would ride things till they die, right?
Correct.
Or
ride or die.
Ride to failure, or ride. Well, you don't really want to ride to failure. You want to be able to maintain and check things, so you swap it out before.
Sure, but
so
then
you don't kill yourself.
But at the point though, nobody then makes a video right at the end of something's life and goes, you know what? It was either shite or it was good or here's or that. So hopefully that's an appreciated angle that I'm bringing to the videos. I mean, it's not going viral, obviously, and Continental aren't going to be sharing that out. Bike stores aren't going to be sharing that out because people can interpret that as what a shite set of tyres. It slashed after 400, but hey, that was my experience. That's what I shared out. It only lasted 4,500 Ks. That's very subjective because of my weight, the rides that I do, the mad skids I do through. I don't do skids. I didn't do skids.
Mad skids.
So, but that's not what sells things. What's up, chicken? You all right, buddy? Yeah? Yeah. We're nearly done. Anyway, that's a bit of fun on that, but you're screwed either way, giving an opinion. And it was the very first time in a long time I've given something a rating. I gave it a bit of a lighthearted, out of 5. And if you listen carefully, I gave it a meh first before I gave it a bit of a hint there, like out of 5. I don't know, like call it what you will. And someone goes, I can't believe you gave it 4.5. It's like, Jesus. That's the reason why.
I'll give it a 1 out of 5.
There we go.
To really
fine.
get
People are going to be on your back. They're going to be so far on your back that they won't be drinking out of your drink bottles that you've given away with your photo on. And that's the hard part about giving something a review, giving something you're not going to be able to cover everyone's experience. Everything's going to be different. That's what people appreciate though. So what I'm trying to say there is you're screwed either way. Give something a review, have an opinion. Holy shit. Anyway, it's all a bit of fun. I'm learning to go, it's not personal. Exactly.
You say it.
I say a lot of things. Alrighty, on to power meters.
Oh, still some spooky.
No, that's just a house
spider
that's
web.
scary. They do that it's 24/7. It's just a scary
been Halloween
house.
recently.
It's a drug den. The Magene Ridge dual Shimano-based power meter has been sent my way for evaluation. Still work in progress. Shimano-based power meters, I could pretty much have written the results before riding the thing. Yeah, right reads low. So more on that soon. I'm diving into it a little bit more, indoors and out, across a few different trainers and things. Quarq DZero with a dub bottom bracket, supposedly coming my way. Very, very keen to get on some non-Shimano based crank power meters or spider based power meters to see how they hold up. Speaking of which, the Rotor INSpider as well should be heading my way to have a look at. On to trainers, the Suto, and that's what I was riding this morning, the Suto trainer. Troubled start to life, the Suto trainer. I've been hanging out for a firmware update that will address some of the issues that I found early on in the Lama lab. I didn't want to do a video saying, look, this is how this performs, and that video sits there, that's my video of the Suto. It wasn't going to be very pretty, because the first email off to Elite was, guys, it's kind of doing this and this in erg. And they're like, yeah, we're on it, we're going to fix. So I've been waiting for them to fix that in firmware before I do my full refresh review of it. Coming soon. I rode it out the mountain pass this morning.
Okay.
So that's Zwift, Watopia, not the epic KOM, but it's 22 minutes, 25 minutes of climbing down the hill with an epic sprint on the little dipper. So rip out some watts there. It held up, it didn't break. And then through the jungle, all good. So stay tuned for my coverage of the Suto. A lot of people are asking about that. Elite did change the game a few years back in 2017 with the DZero. The DZero came along and created the mid-range market. There was always the top end direct drive trainers. There was always the lower end wheel-on trainers. There was nothing in the middle. Elite created that little section there. They've then created another section in there. They now have the Suto, which comes out of the box with a cassette, fully assembled. They've also got the Zumo, which is, they're segmenting their market. Anyway, it's
fantastic.
all good.
Yeah.
More options for people. A lot of people looking at the Suto because it addresses the issues of, I don't want to have to build this goddamn thing. I don't have to put the legs on or anything. They can just take it out of the box. That's the hardest part of the Suto, is getting it out of the box.
Yeah. It's a really small form factor too.
It's a
considering
suitcase.
it's a wheel on,
wheel off.
Wheel off.
Yes.
Because I'm thinking wheel on ones, even they don't fold up as neatly as this does.
Is this the most kneadable folding trainer? The reason why it's taking Vaughn so long is because we've got so many damn trainers.
Yeah. Let me tell you how many I've tripped over.
That's it. I was going to say, have you kicked your toe on that one?
But
no?
also,
Okay,
if you think about all of those other mid-range ones, so like the Flux the legs stay out.
Oh, the flux.
core, the legs stay out.
There you go.
You
and
know,
it's hard to pick up the core.
Yep.
It's a good ride. But
There's some really good points about this.
You know, we should get... okay, I won't put you in the deep end, but we need more women tech reviewers in the cycling space. I was going to say, Vaughn, step into this role, but I don't want to load that on you. You've got your own role to deal with. But in the
got a few other things I'm doing.
Like this little one. How you doing, buddy? He's back to sleep. Yes. Parenting win. We just talk enough shit and he'll go to sleep like everyone else watching. I hope you're still with us.
I'm glad that you're enjoying my viewpoint.
Oh!
Yes.
Not how to car. Yeah, look, I mean, it's a tough topic to discuss without offending anybody. There's just I've not seen technical coverage of what... So for me, the way I see our market, and I'll cover myself, Ray and Des.
Okay.
Look at Ray first. Ray's from their triathlete / multi-sport angle. Covering that from that angle.
Covering
myself,
tech on that.
Covering tech, bike tech, indoor tech, and sports tech from that angle. Myself, a roadie. Who enjoys a good time trial. So covering it from the true roadie side of things, road racer, crit racer, I can pack a little sprint. I'm not a track sprinter, but I've done all the road disciplines. And Des, from the mountain biker side of things. So I think we've got a good range, but we're all dudes.
Yeah.
We're all dudes. I think there is a market there. Cycling Tips recently put out a big call out for subscribe to us and then we'll do more for women's cycling. But you've got to subscribe to us first before we do more for women's cycling, which was a bit of a loop that people picked up on. It's a good thing. Again, they drove a Tesla to a steam rally and they need to sell it a little better than that. There needs to be more women in cycling covering this tech from a technical standpoint. Because you riding the Suto is a different experience to me riding the Suto.
Okay.
And Ray riding a Suto, and Des riding a Suto. I'm not saying you're going to cover all women. It just needs to be. There's a massive opportunity there. Massive opportunity.
Well, I guess. Yeah. Well, send me your stuff. I will in my spare time.
We don't have any room for it. We don't have any.
I will review in good time.
Jesus.
For good cash money.
Somehow the mafia's got involved.
I've been watching The Godfather.
I know you're half Croatian, but Jesus. Didn't know you were half Sicilian as well. I will review your shit for some money.
No horse head.
Give me your elite horse trainer, the crazy horse. Or you'll wake up in your bed.
Sleep with the fishes.
Jeez.
No.
Can we keep this one under the hour? I don't think we're going to do it. I don't think we're going to do it.
It's all up to your editing.
How you doing, Max? Rightio. Christmas giveaways. So at the 100,000 subscriber mark, that milestone that we'll get over soon, it'll be in the new year though. Unless something goes viral because of the algorithm. It won't be because of this video. Christmas giveaways, we'll do a few of those. We have some Christmas bottles. Is there anything else in the house we can pack up?
Oh, mate, let me tell you what we could give away. We could give away so much stuff. We have drink bottles galore.
Yeah, ones with your face on them.
No. We've got definitely some awesome Pro Tour ones from maybe not even this year, but the year before. Wow! So that
so Von knows what's at the back of the cupboard. You've been cleaning.
Yes, I have.
They're unused. It's all anything I send out is brand new. I never it's all. I'm not sending out old skin suits or old nicks.
No, God no.
Unless you want some old nicks. Yeah, send me a message. No. We've heard some horror stories.
Good cash money.
Oh God, the mafia are involved again. Oh Jesus.
No.
We should do a podcast.
We've got some good things to give away.
So stay tuned for that. Even though we're 55 minutes. Oh God, no one's tuning in for this.
You know, there's all kinds of things.
International postage absolutely sucks. If you're in the US, what is with the US and postage? You know, it cost me $17 to send $2 worth of lollies to the US, and I did it because I wanted to send these lollies over. There's certain lollies here in Australia to send to the US for somebody. And then to send, what did I send to send to Japan? No, I sent something to Japan. It was a whole head unit to Japan. Like that was like $7.
Yeah, I sent some stuff to Amsterdam. That was not bad, but yeah.
Crikey. All right, we'll get some stuff in the suitcase. Two last topics here. Varia Radar. I've taken a step back this week. I'm on the RTL 500, the old square one. I picked one of those up for $149 delivered, Australian, which is around $100 US, maybe $130 US. I wanted to know if the older Varia Radar worked just as well as the newer one. I love the newer one.
Yeah, I like the new form factor.
Yeah, the older form factor is square. It's ugly as all hell. It's smaller than I thought. It looked uglier on the images they use for promotion and stuff.
Well, the issue there is real estate behind the bike.
Yeah.
So if you're a shorter rider and have less seat post and you've got a saddlebag and stuff like that, you've got less real estate on your bike.
Yeah, but it's only that to that. There's not a lot to it. And you still need a certain amount of clearance above the tyre and below your saddlebag.
So it's a completely different form factor. Yeah.
That's a good angle. Anyway, I've been riding around with that one. Von, your take on the Varia Radar, because I've got to cover the Varia Radar in every single content that I make.
Well, I just gave you my take.
You like the radar?
On the form factor between the two models.
But the usage of the radar, do you ride with it?
Pretty much exclusively now, yes, as my tail light. Pretty much exclusively. The only difference now is the setting. Since I've updated my 1030, I'm using it as a light network.
Yes.
I'm using it as that rather than just as
the
radar device, yeah. Yep. And then setting the light flashing mode on the unit. So yeah, that it just lives on my bike. The only thing I would change is a longer battery life, and I don't know why it's so long. That's the only thing. So if they could
probably because of the battery.
Yeah, if keep it the same size, double the battery, I'd be pretty happy.
Would you happy if they doubled the weight of it? I mean, it's quite double the weight for double the battery.
Possibly, yes. Unlike the Hammerhead.
Oh God, maybe you could run a cable from the Hammerhead down to the rear of the battery, or I'd happily. I like the form factor. I don't want the shape to change. I would love that battery to change.
Yeah, it looks great on the bike being skinny.
Yep.
Maybe that was one of the complaints they had for riders. That
the old one's ugly.
Yeah,
there's no question.
Because it's so wide, etc. Yeah. But yeah, love it.
Excellent. Links below to Garmin Varia Radars. If you do not have one, rarely do I tell people to go and buy something.
Put it on the Christmas list. It's on the list.
Go and for trainers, for power meters. Check out my experience, Ray's experience, Des's experience, other reviewers out there that you trust and like to read and like their content on. Check their reviews. Use that as your information to become an informed purchaser of whatever you want to go and buy.
Yeah.
That aside, get yourself a Varia Radar now. If you ride any type of road without, like this one here, the roads that I ride, any solo riding, I cannot say how much. I attend the Church of the Varia Radar, and if any company's watching, go and make a bloody cheaper radar. It's not a Garmin thing. It's only Garmin have made it. It's an open standard. Go and make yourself a new radar. Make one that has the double battery life, and make it half the price. Bang! Shit tons of money. Don't put it on Kickstarter. We hate Kickstarter projects.
Sorry? Just go sell it.
Just sell it. Just make it and sell it. It can use. You will need to use 72 gig. I think says me doing weird eye movements that you can't see because I think the 24 gig range that the radar uses is being sunset in 2022. If you're that deep into it, you know about the frequencies. Keith Wakeham needs to make himself a radar. He'd sell 1 million. That's it. Okay, I'm going to email Keith now. He's the man. Almost done. We're not going to make this under the hour. I'm really sorry. We should apologise at the start for this. Indoor tips, Zwift tips. Share your tips and I'll help spread the word. My Zwift tips were born, again, over probably 2 or 3 years ago of me just wanting to share small little tips and tricks that I've come up against that I wanted to share out and I've solved problems with, and they're doing really, really well. As we come into this indoor season, if you have any of your own tips that you use that I may not be aware of, you want to spread the word, let me know. Comment below. Any tips you've come across that you use on a daily basis that make your life easier indoors or out, shoot me a link below. Tell me the details. I want to be across it because, again, the whole reason this channel exists, other than our rambling videos like this one, which goes over the hour. Hey, GoPro Hero 8's working well for over the hour.
Oh, yeah.
It's to try and enhance everyone else's experience with technology.
Yep.
And have a bit of fun whilst doing it. Because at the end of the day, if you're not having a laugh, what are you doing? You're probably doing an FTP test.
True.
But even if you have it, okay, so right, here we go. During an FTP test,
Yes.
if you get a message or a phone call or an interruption and someone interrupts your ride, if you're running the companion up on there, oh my wattage. What a pain in the ass. So, put your phone on silent, put it on Do Not Disturb. You can check, and I'll do a Zwift tip on this one, which is more generic, how to put your iPhone on Do Not Disturb for 1 hour with the click of a button. You can go and it's Do Not Disturb for 1 hour, or when you leave your current location.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool. If you're at home and you're like, okay, I'm going to take work calls on the way to work, or if I'm going to go walk the dog, I'm happy. You can go, okay, set on silent or set Do Not Disturb until I leave this location, so you can get your workout done, you can get your FTP test done, you can hate life for 20 minutes, or your step test, or for the full hour, depending on how you want to do your step test.
Yeah.
Then when you go and take the dog for a walk, your phone will then ring. It can be interrupted.
No, that's a great idea, because I've heard people say that they don't want that functionality on their Garmin to say, give me notifications of messages, because that's their escape time on the bike.
Indoors, you can't escape it though.
But yeah,
No.
that's right. That's if you're using a head unit.
It's like kids in school and having phones now. You know, you're getting bullied at school, go home and shut your bedroom door. You're getting bullied by your low wattage in your FTP test, you'll get bullied online.
Comment on Shane's Strava below.
My Strava does get analysed quite a bit. Somebody even mentioned to me at the vets the other week, it's like, I've been seeing the efforts you've been doing lately, Shane. You're getting back into racing here? I'm like, what efforts? What efforts have I been?
You're just trying to make it so that you can survive Festi 500.
She knows me way too well. And if you've been watching this, hopefully you know a little bit more about us now and behind the scenes. We'll have to wrap it up there.
Sure.
Thanks, Max, for coming along and your contribution, mate.
Is he still awake?
Sleeping.
Yes.
We'll leave it there. Hopefully you've enjoyed this one. A bit of a behind the scenes weekend banter. We're always enjoying our time on the bike. It is coming into summer. If it's coming into winter for you guys, hopefully a lot of the content we've done in the last 6 months has helped out or will help you out in the future. Again, any of those videos, leave a comment. I see them all. Shoot us an email if you have any ideas, questions. A lot of the time it's external influence that helps me make content and put out better ideas. And I can spin things up very, very quickly. This week, what dropped from Zwift? Oh, the Halloween special. We didn't even know the Halloween special was coming out. They do something every year on Zwift. No idea what it was. I've got an auto script running on one of my virtual servers that checks for Zwift updates every 5 minutes. And I got an alert, oh, what's new? Hang on, what the hell? And then I logged in and saw pumpkins and I saw spider webs. Then we saw dinosaurs and I was WTFing. We jumped on. The Lama lab test became a bit of a ride around to try and find dinosaur arms. That video went up and that's now got 12,000 views or so for now, which is not too bad for one of those videos after a few days. So that's all good. 12,921 views. So sharing the love. Let us know if there's any cool ideas. Happy to share them out. And yeah, all good. All right, we'll leave it with you to go and enjoy your weekend or your day. Again, not your standard video, this one, more of a podcast, more of a laugh, but we really do enjoy what we do. And I hope you do too. Thanks for coming, Von.
It's been fun.
Thanks, Max.
Thanks, Max.
Parenting win. Oh, hit subscribe. Forgot about that. Hit like and hit subscribe. No. It's up to you. Don't be the 70%. Be the 30.
40.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Reach goal.
Let's bump it to 40.
Reach goal. Stretch goal.